They say that discipline beats motivation because motivation, inspiration, excitement, and enthusiasm is temporary. It ebbs and flows. And for many people, and in many instances, it relies on external factors that can't be controlled, such that you need to read a book or watch a video or hear certain music or some other extemporaneous fuel to get you going, to do what it is that you've decided needs to get done to achieve a certain goal. And discipline and self-control is something that when the motivation runs out and the inspiration runs out is going to be there to carry you through. Because when you have that kind of fortitude and perseverance and self-control and discipline to push and to go and to wake up when you don't want to wake up and to go to bed early when you want to go out and party, to only eat certain foods when you want to eat all the junk in the world, to want to drink when you're seeking to abstain and be at your very best. That's when your motivation will fail, and that's where discipline kicks in, because you're able to remain rock solid and have a mindset that is non-negotiable. But I'm going to tell you what beats discipline. So if discipline conquers motivation, you know what conquers discipline? Passion. That's right. Passion for what it is you do. Because when you have passion, you don't need discipline. So if we talk about, I'm out here, cold, damp, rainy. I'm out here getting in those reps. I got a guy in here with me, bless him, older gent, and he's listening to the radio, or he's listening to his phone. I think he's listening to some sports. And I come in under this little shelter that we got here in the field to do my kettlebell squats and get that work in, get that training in, strengthen the temple before I deliver my message, so that I'm in zone and in flow state when I'm speaking with you. So I'm truly connected to Yahuwah, Yahusha, receiving signal, receiving transmission, emptied out of all wayward frequencies, negative thoughts, all of the darkest of emotions that can cloud one's thinking, all of it banished when you're deep in the zone, training, emptying it all out, and receiving nothing but Yahuwah, Yahusha's signal, His transmission, His love, His healing, His joy, filling you with that vision, with the meditation and the rumination that you're focusing on, having read, having studied, having nourished your soul before you get into the training, so you have what to think about. So you have what to connect about. And or it could be something else. Could be some other meditation that still ties into the ultimate commandment, which is love Yahuwah with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. Love your fellow man as you love yourself. And what I'm talking about today, passion, overcoming discipline, that connects directly to my love for Yahuwah, Yahusha. I love Him with all my heart, soul, mind, and strength. He saved me from all manner of evil, all manner of decadence, defilement, debasement, and depravity. He set me on the righteous path with a true and steadfast and heart stronger than ever. And I get out here, I get in here, I do this training. I got this gentleman in here. And it's usually super quiet out here. So now I'm training and I'm ruminating as I'm in the zone, and I've got the radio playing in the background. I've got the gentleman coughing, but I'm so zoned in, it's okay. We share this space, all good. And then he starts smoking. I start breathing the smoke. But you know what? Let him have it. I'm not going to argue with him. I'm not going to tell him he's got to put it out. You know what? Man's getting some quiet time away from whatever he needs to get away from. He's trying to enjoy his day. I'm trying to enjoy mine. I just move out a little bit further, get into that fresh air a little bit, get hit with a little bit of drizzle. It's all good. But I'm getting in that work. And he says to me, he goes, wow, that's impressive, as he sees me doing the training. And he's maybe a little bit older than me. I hope, because he looks older than me. So maybe he's in his early 70s. Maybe his mid-70s. And he's got a smoker's cough. You could hear the phlegm. He said to me, that's really impressive. And I'm like, thank you. And he's like, are you a competitor? I'm like, no, I'm just putting in that work. And he's like, impressive. And, you know, the thing is that I'm thinking about what I'm going to speak about before I even encounter this gentleman. And it's only coming to me now as I'm speaking to you that although I'm saying I'm putting in that work, it doesn't feel like work. He says it's impressive, but it's not impressive. It's not. Because it takes no discipline to do what I'm doing. What do I mean? If discipline conquers motivation, well, I'll tell you right now, passion for strengthening the temple that houses the breath of Yahuwah, the Ruach HaKodesh, the set-apart spirit, because he lives within us, and he gave us this temple. He created us in his image. He gave us this hardware to house the Ruach. So I want to keep it healthy. I want to keep it strong. I want to keep it vibrant. And I also want to do so I can love my fellow man as I love myself as I love my fellow man, so I can live as an example for my people, and they can lean on me when they need me. I want to be strong for them. I want to be vibrant for them. I want to be robust for them and for you. And so the thing is, I love doing this. I love doing this. And I remember ages ago, my stepfather once asked me, he said, not my stepfather, sorry, my father-in-law, my wife's stepfather once asked, we were talking about working out. And I don't know, I don't remember exactly what preceded me saying this, but I was saying to him how the only reason I do this and can do it every day and do it all the time and I'm disciplined to it, because again, it's not like this, because I love the feeling it gives me. I love the pump. I love the rush. I love the way it elevates me. But specific to him, as I told him, I love the way it makes me feel. I love the pump. But back then it was all about the flesh, because I love that feeling. And I still love that feeling, but now I do it for so many other reasons. I do it, and the least of the reasons is to look good in the mirror. That's the least of the reasons. Although sometimes I do catch myself having to exert some discipline when I get on a kick where I'm going lower calorie or I'm eating less because I want to get shredded. And then I find myself in a state of a bit of discipline. I'm exerting, and for me, it's just a bit of discipline to do it. But I never feel more vibrant, I never feel more robust, and I never feel more dynamic than when I stop doing it for the look and when I do it for the feeling and when I do it for the love. And most of all now, and for years now, I've been doing it to connect, to catch that zone, to catch that flow state, and to receive that transmission from Yahuwah Yahusha, because when I am in that flow state, I can see him clearly. I can conversate with him clearly. He resonates with me ever so clearly, and I get emptied out of all, as I said, wayward frequencies, negative thoughts, all of the conflicting ideals that imperfect humans go through. And when I come through in that workout, I am absolutely, completely cleared of any of that, and full up with the Ruach, the set-apart spirit. He lives within me, he blossoms within me, and he's always within me. But that connection is crystal clear when I'm in a state of flow and when I'm in the zone. So when I'm doing this for the love of it. I'm doing it so it takes no discipline for me to eat the way I eat. To eat, I mean, what am I? Think about, I'm not eating I haven't eaten junk. I haven't had one cheap meal in 8.5 years. I don't cheat because I don't want to cheat. Because I love eating healthy, dynamic, robust foods that make me feel strong and allow me to honor the temple and revere Yahuwah, who gave me this temple to house his breath, the set-apart spirit, the Ruach. It's an honor and a privilege to strengthen the temple and to keep this this house undefiled for Yahuwah Yahusha. And so I have such passion for it, such love for it, for training, for eating right, for feeling good, for feeling healthy, for feeling vibrant, that I don't want junk food. I don't want crap. I don't want poisons. I don't want toxins in my body. I want any of that. I want to be out here connected. I want to be getting in that workout. I want to be feeling that pump. I want to be in that zone. I want to be in that flow state. Not as a matter of decadence, because you could substitute this, for drugs. Believe me, the endorphin rush you get, the pump that you get, it's a substitution for drugs because it's natural. And it's endogenous blood chemicals that get you, quite frankly, higher than any drug once you appreciate it and you've been cleansed of all drugs and all alcohol for a long time. And even when you haven't, everyone knows who knows the pump and the endorphin rush that you get from, it's called the runner's high, it's called the pump when you're lifting weights. You all know what I'm speaking about, but it's a substitution for drug. And there's a lot of people, including myself, that did it for that reason, which is, in a sense, you're doing it for the ways of the flesh. You're doing it for that drug-like feeling, and you're doing it for how you look in the mirror. And I'll tell you what, that's a hell of a lot better than a lot of the habits, a lot of the bad habits that a lot of people have. But now, that's, again, just a side effect. Being in shape, feeling that pump, that's just a side effect of getting out here and honoring and revering the temple that Yahuwah Yahusha gave me, and also being able to connect, receive signal, receive the transmission, the 24/7, 365 broadcast, that when you turn that dial and it's like a lightning strike, that transmission comes in loud and clear and you hear it, you know it, you see it, you receive it, you perceive it. And when you ruminate and contemplate on the words, the teachings, the parables, the phrases, and the life of Yahuwah Yahusha and the apostles, and when you live in His truth, His way, His life, and you receive the word and the ultimate commandment to love Yahuwah with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength, love your fellow man as you love yourself, it's glorious. It's glorious. And it's never so crystal clear, the conversation you have with Yahuwah Yahusha. It's never so clear. It's never so right. It's never so dialed in. It's never so apparent. And you receive all the revelations, all the epiphanies, all the learnings, all the understandings that you could ever imagine. You receive, and you receive them more than you could have ever thought possible, because it's layer upon layer. You could be ruminating on the simplest of principles, the simplest of parables, the simplest of phrases that Yahuwah Yahusha has laid down. But when you're in that flow state, when you're in zone, when you're ruminating and contemplating, layer upon layer upon layer upon layer gets revealed to you, and then you start making connections with other things that you could have never, and the signs are everywhere, and everything becomes clear. You understand all things. You see the zeros and the ones behind this illusion in ways you never thought possible. And so I love this. It takes no discipline. When you're passionate about something, when you love doing it, and when you're doing it for a higher calling, a higher reason than just yourself and just the ways of the flesh, man, you're driven far beyond driven. And you're doing it for the love of the game. You're doing it because you're perennially, am I saying this right? Perennially, that's it, perennially, consistently, constantly, never-endingly jazzed up, enthused, and excited. So I don't need an outside force to be motivated. And again, motivation from external forces, temporary. Discipline carries you through on those gaps, but then passion conquers it all, because you'll never, ever feel like you need discipline. You'll never, ever feel like you're doing something because you have to. You're never, ever going to feel like you got to muster up the fortitude and perseverance to get after it, because it's just so enjoyable. It makes you feel so good. It makes you feel so connected. And the love is so deep that it just doesn't feel like work.